Good morning, everybody. It is JP. I am him. Yes, the outlaw, the voice that makes a moist. Your favorite color commentator here to give you my NXT review for April 19th, 2017. So they start the show off with Bobby Roode riding high, talking about how he's the new face of NXT, how NXT is going to that next level after his big money match with Shinsuke Nakamura. So, you know, if you want to be anything in NXT, you got to go through him, so on and so forth. Hideo Itami makes his return. And just in NXT has developed an art where I'm not saying too much of anything. Like the hills are doing most of the talking, and the good guys, as far as their baby faces, are basically saying nothing. Like literally nothing. I look at Shinsuke Nakamura ever since Finn Balor. There hasn't been a very voiceful heel. So I mean a voiceful baby face. So Hideo Tommy comes out, slaps the piss out of fucking Bobby Roode. Bobby Roode gets upset. He takes his jacket off and all that other good stuff. He sets it up on the side of the apron. He says, "All right, you ready to go? You want to go with me?" Next thing you know, he hits him with the go to sleep. And they go to commercial break. They come back from commercial break. Bobby Roode is still in the middle of the ring, fucked up. So that goes into the first match with a Andre Ciamamas versus one of the, you remember the tag team, the Cabinet, JBL's tag team. Orlando Jones was in it, and this is one of the guys from the tag team, Danny. I forget his last, Danny Burks or something like that. But he's one of those guys. So him coming back to NXT, I can only see him coming back in a capacity as a support talent. He's not there to win titles and whatnot. He's trying. I guess they're going to try and give him a push. But looking at it now, his window is gone. So, good match. Andre Ciamamas, he was supposed to move up to the main roster. Everybody that was supposed to get called up got called up. Ty Dillinger, Shinsuke Nakamura. But they left Ciamamas down there to develop just a little bit more. Me personally, I think it's a language thing. I think we need to get him on the mic a little bit more. Stop cutting Spanish promos. And just like look at Alberto Del Rio. Alberto Del Rio could speak English. So when he cut his promos, and he did half English, half Spanish, it made sense. He would give you the English version first, and then he'll say what he really wanted to say in Spanish. And it's never vulgar. It's never over the top. So I would like, again, just a little bit more time as far as working the mic and development. But it would not surprise me if he gets moved up right after SummerSlam. So keep an eye on that. I will, if you don't. Love Morgan and Aaliyah versus Peyton Royce and Billie Kay. This match was just to conclude what happened from last week when they got thrown inside Billie Kay got thrown inside of an ice bath. So in the development center. So yeah, I thought this match was okay. I could have did without it. A couple of good spots. Billie Kay and Peyton Royce takes the loss, and Liv Morgan and Aaliyah picks up the win, but they pick it up dirty, which is kind of weird because I thought they was going to keep Aaliyah or Liv Morgan good until at least until Ember Moon leaves, because you need somebody as far as a good enough heel. I think Liv Morgan will eventually get the women's title, and if not, she'll be called up and get a decent title run as a women's champ. Only problem is she's only like 4'11". That's the problem. When you're going up against a Charlotte, a Tamina, a Nikki Jackson, you're 4'11". It's not going to work. I can't say it's not going to work. It's just hard to book. if you ask me. Like, they still got to get their spots off, and then she still got to, at some point in time, beat her overtowering what do they call them? Overtowering opponent. There we go. Next week on NXT, you'll get Andre Cien versus Drew Galloway. Drew McIntyre in the WWE. They gave him back his slave name. Shouldn't have did that. Then you got Aaron Black inside in action. We'll see what happens with that. I actually like Aaron's Black character. I think he reminds me a lot of Mick Foley. Mick Foley, Mankind, when he first came out on the scene. Tyler Bate versus the gentleman Jack Gallagher on an NXT taping. Now, here's my thing. Obviously, the WWE don't know what the fuck they're doing over there in England. That's cool. Take Tyler Bate and the rest of that roster, bring it over to NXT. Let that be your mid-card division. Because if you're not gonna bring the cruiserweights to NXT, bring the damn fucking United Kingdom title to NXT. It would make a little bit more sense. Especially, you got William Regal, you got Nigel McGuinness on commentary. It would just make more sense. Last match of the night, you got Ty Dillinger versus EY. And me personally, I think this is one of the best cage matches that I've seen in a while, especially on TV. The network. And me personally, they use every side of the cage. The cage even played a big part as far as determining the winner of this match. And just to give you a little sight in that, freaking Ty Dillinger was trying to climb out the top. You had a member of Sanity, not Killian Dane, the other guy. You had him climbing up on the outside, but you had Killian Dane and Eric Young in the ring. Which, again, Ty Dillinger jumps off the ring, crossbodies Killian Dane and fucking Eric Young. Crawls his way out the ring and potentially wins the match. But this is, and I only touched on that to say, okay, that's one of their spots where they use the cage appropriately. You know, the cage was designed to keep people out. They only had one ref out there, so you knew at some point in time Sanity was going to come out. But they send out Rebel Riot, Ruby Riot. They sent her out. They sent Cassius Ohno out, and they send out Roderick Strong as far as backup for Ty Dillinger. So my next thing is, where does Sanity go from here? Because me personally, you got Roderick Strong, Cassius Ohno, and I would say No Way Jose, who's doing absolutely nothing right now. So I would, with Ty Dillinger gone, I would focus on Cassius Ohno first, have them try to knock him off, and then, No Way Jose comes back, and, they're feuding for a little bit, but somebody has to get involved in that mix to make that 8-man tag a little bit better. I mean, I could see No Way Jose getting involved just because of the history. I also could see Ty Dillinger taking it over, not Ty Dillinger, Cassius Ohno taking that rivalry over and just, jumping all the way to the front of the card after the rivalry. Because I think EY is a great worker. I think he's one of those, what I like to call misfits. You wouldn't see them if it wasn't for like freaking NXT, TNA, ROH. Yeah, and everybody knows I'm a big fan of the indies, so you wouldn't have a Bobby Roode or an Eric Young if it wasn't for fucking TNA, AJ Styles if it wasn't for TNA, Samoa Joe. Just touching on a few names here. I think that Eric Young can do a lot better. I'm waiting for him to get a championship run, and if not a championship run, move all of Sanity up and slowly give them titles. All of them. But that's my NXT review. And As always, follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and Wrestling Amino. For right now, there'll be more names coming soon. Follow me on there. Also, we're coming on that last episode of the Outlaw Gameplay for the NXT tournament for the NXT Heavyweight Championship for my Universe game mode. So, in the first episode, it'll probably be sometime next week. Probably after next week, I'll give you my Raw debut. And, the first pay-per-view will be a SmackDown pay-per-view. I'm introducing the rosters this weekend. So you'll get, of course, the JP show at 12 o'clock. And then you'll get the finals for the championship tournament with NXT on Saturday. Those two videos are coming out on Saturday. Sunday, you'll get an introduction to all three brands, hopefully with my voice narrating. But you'll get an introduction to all three brands. You'll get, Raw, SmackDown, and NXT. As you already know, 25 superstars and 8 women for the women's divisions on all three brands. And this is what we're starting off with. If the numbers increase, I will let you know. But this is where we're at, man, and I'm real excited. I got the first 6 months already in my mind on what I want to do with each brand. But gladly I write shit on paper. So stick around, man. It's gonna be real entertaining summer. I got that working. I'm working to get the logo done. Just a quick update on the show. You know what I mean? I'm working to get the logo done. I also want to get a reaction logo done. But, in due time. I'm a patient guy. It's one thing to have patience. It's another thing to literally be patient, And that took time and years, but it is what it is. I'm going to leave you guys with my final notes. And this is where I get personal as far as life is concerned. I just got some bad news. My brother-in-law, he's in a hospital. Well, yeah, my brother-in-law, he's in the hospital. My sister's husband. And, they're saying it's bad. And I'm a firm believer in karma and just people's time, man. And just, me knowing Rashid for as long as I know him, I don't see him going anywhere. And if you guys are listening to this episode, send a special prayer out to my brother-in-law. Make sure that he returns back to his family in a safe condition, in one piece, because I got the news right before I recorded this show, and I'm here with you guys, but my mind is all over the place. I'm personally going through some back pains and body aches, and he was going through the same thing where he couldn't walk, and he literally had to get his daughter, who is 7 years old, to call 911, and that's a crazy thing, man. That's a lot to put on a little girl, and I know him. I know that's something he wouldn't have did if he had no choice. So I just, I don't want to get into details, but it's fucked up. It's real fucked up that, life is such a fucking fight till you get to the finish. It really is, man. It really is. My whole thing is be courteous, be nice. Life is too short to be an asshole. Life is too short to be a dick. And even if you're being these things, act like you want somebody to treat you the way you're treating them. Because if you see somebody treating somebody the wrong way, be a man, be a woman, whatever you are, and stand up against that, man. Stand up against that. Stand up against that, man. It's too short, yeah. It's too short. We gotta everybody just gotta start doing their part. But that's my rant for the day. I'm getting ready to get dressed. Me and my son gotta get up out of here early, and I gotta go see my brother-in-law later today. Just like I said before, everybody, just pray, man. Just pray for me. All right, I'll catch y'all. Peace.